Hello students. Now we will starting with the next point from the this material management, that is the purchasing. What exactly is purchasing? Purchasing is an important function of the material management. What we are already discussed. In any industry, purchasing means buying the equipments, materials, tools, or the parts, or the different things, machines is involved in this purchasing. The importance of the purchase function varies with the nature of the organization, small scale or the large scale industry. In a small scale industry, the this scope is very limited. Work manager would be dealing with this, but in a large scales, we are having the separate department for the purchasing. Purchasing function ensure the continuity of supply of the raw materials, subcontracted items, and the spare parts, machine parts, maintenance parts. All these things are under this purchasing department. In other words, the objective is not only to procure raw materials at a low price, but to reduce the cost of the final product is the main function of the purchasing. This is the things what exactly this purchasing. Now we will move towards the purchasing objective. There are many purchasing objective which are in line with the material management objective. So because it is one of the function of the material management. So purchasing to avail the material, suppliers and equipments at a minimum possible cost. If want to reduce the final product cost means what we have to get this all these things in a minimum cost, so it will also do the things in a good manner, and according to that we must require this continuous flow of the raw materials and other component which is required, so that we can it cannot be affected on the production also, and it will also not cost the more. So this is another important things. Continuous flow of this all these things are the another objective of the this purchasing. Then next is what to increase the asset turnover. To increase the asset turnover is the one of the things which we are having. The investment in the inventory should be kept on the minimum side in relation to the volume of a sale. Whatever the volume of the sale, according to that, whatever the inventory is required, we have to minimize this inventory so that we can have this more profit to the company. And next objective which we are having is to develop an alternative source of supply. We can't have to depend on the only one supplies, because we are depend on the only one supplies. It will be very difficult for us if this supply is not possible to give these things. So we have to always must have the to develop this alternate source for that product, depending upon that product quantity and size and how frequently it is required. So we have to explore this alternative supplies. The next objective is to establish and maintain the good relation with the supplier. So what we have to maintain a good relation with the suppliers helps in involving a favorable image in the business circle. So such relations are beneficial to the buyers in terms of the changing the reasonable price, then other allocations of the materials in case of the materials shortages there. So for goodwill, we must have to maintain the good relationship with the suppliers. So they can also have the better image in the market for our product or for our organization also. Sixth objective is like to achieve the maximum integrations with the other department of a company. So it is the what we are saying, that this purchasing is depends upon the different things. It is not only related with the raw materials, but other standard parts are there, some machine parts are there, maintenance parts are also required. So we must have the good interaction with the other departments so that we can properly forecast the things. What is their maintenance schedule? According to that, what all other things we have to procure. All these things which we require, tools which is required, other machines which is required. All these things we have to make the good relationship with the other departments so that we can properly do this purchasing. Then seventh objective is to train and develop the personnel. So purchasing department is managed with varied type of the personals, and the company should try to build the imaginative employee force through a training and development, because suddenly if any person is left from that purchase department, it cannot hamper the things, because it is a personal relation with the suppliers and other things are there. So we have to do these things. Training and developing the new employees is always we have to keep into mind. And then we have to, if any emergency is there, then we can easily cope up with that situation. The efficient record keeping and management reporting. So paper processing is inherent in a purchasing function. Such a paper processing should be standardized so that record keeping can be facilitated. Periodic reporting to the management about the purchase activity justify the independent existence of the department. And this record keeping is very much important in a purchasing. So that we have to keep here. And this recorded data which useful for the further for costing the purchasing and all these things. So these things we have to do the things, and periodically we have to give the report to the management also. Now, next part which we are having is parameters of purchasing. So, what are the different parameters? We will see that the success of any manufacturing activity is largely depend on the procurement of a raw material. Not only the raw material, but what quality raw material? Right quality in the right quantity from the right source at the right time and at the right price, popularly known as 5 Rs. These 5 Rs are very much important. Uh, these 5 Rs are very much important. And these are the things which we have to, these are the parameters of the purchasing. We have to focus on these things. They are described as the basic principles of the purchasing. Hmm. So there are the other well-known parameters such as right contractual terms, right material, right place, right mode of transportations, and right attitude are also the considered for purchasing. Previous 5 Rs are also important. Along with this, these parameters are also right contractual items, right material, right place, right mode of transport, and right attitude of the supplier, and all these things is also the 5 Rs for the purchasing. These are also the equally important parameters of the purchasing. So what we are will see this as we discussed here, the what we can also the we can in the through the flow charts also we can see here right quantity. So right quantity is in this inventory models, different inventory models we can use, and according to that right quantity we can justify it. Right quality, rejection, and specifications is the main things which is involved here. Right materials, value analysis, and standardizations is also it's things which we have to do. Right attitude or right price. Sorry, before that, right price, negotiation, and learning curves which we can use, and we can have this right price also. The right time record, lead times which is required, cycle times, all these things we can take into the minds, and according to that we can have this right time. These are the 5 Rs which we are having. Along with these 5 Rs we are having the another 5 Rs, that right attitude. For that, we have to go through the SWOT analysis of the supplier and our organizations also. Right place of delivery, the transportations is also the one of the parts which is making this increasing the cost. So this price communication is also important. Right source, vendor rating, and for the purchasing is also done with the help of this. We can do right contracts means what are the all the legal aspects and the contracts we have to properly we have to make, so that we can have these things. So these are the 5 Rs. Two 5 Rs are there, which are the main parameters of the purchasing. So now we will one by one we will discuss these things. Right price. It is the primary concern of any manufacturing organization to get an item at a right price. But right price need to be need not to be a lowest price. Many times what in our mind is right price means lowest price is right price. It is not like that. It must be justify the what is the quality of that product. According to that, we have to specify the what is the right price for the this particular things. Uh, the tender system for buying is normally used for the public sector organizations where but the objective should be to identify the lowest lowest responsible vendor and not a lowest binder. Mhm. Okay, so what exactly the tender system is different, but in the tender system also, what are the quality and other things which are the term and conditions we have to mention in a proper way so that we can get the proper price for this particular price when we kept low for the proper planning and not by rushing buy. So it will be depends upon how we can planning these things and all these things which we can do these things depending upon the quality. All this material price is required. There are many factors which are affecting on the right price also. Right quality implies that quality should be available, measurable, understandable, and as per as the practicable. Is what quality which is we are expecting these things we have to work on these things. In order to determine the quality of a product, sampling scheme will be useful. So we have to check that these things in the sampling scheme we can use and we can use these things. The right quality is determined by the cost of a material and the technical characteristics as cited suited the specific requirement. Whatever the requirement of that particular material, according to that, what these things which we are having, which we have to think, and according to that, we have to do the things. Right time. What exactly it is means that for determining the right time, purchase manager should have a lead time information for all the products and they have to analyze its components for reducing the same. Lead time is a total time lapsed between the recognition of the need of an item till the item arrives and is provided for use. So these things which you have to work on the lead times and according to that, what is the right times we have to decide that and for that purpose all these lead time informations and other things for all the products we have to analyze. This covers the entire duration of the motorcycles, consist of the pre-contractual administrative lead time, manufacturing and transportation lead time, inspection lead time. Since the inventory increases, uh, this all these lead times we have to take into the consideration. Since the inventory increases at a higher lead time, it is described to be then it would not be useful for us. So we have to, according to that, we have to see that what is the right time, and for that purpose, the lead time informations we have to properly analyze. Now, next is what right source. The source from which material is procured should be dependable and capable of supplying the item as per our requirement and as per our quality with the consistent quality. The buyer has to decide which item should be directly obtained from the manufacturer. So that we have to think in this particular things. Then source development and vendor ratings plays an important role in the buyer supplier relationship buyer supplier relationship. So we can have to the source selection, source development, and vendor rating plays that important role in this particular things. In emergency, open market purchase and bazaar purchase are restored too. So this is in emergency we must have the alternative resource for this particular. So like this we have this right source. Then you go moving toward the right quantity, one of the parameter of purchasing. Right quantity is the most important parameter in buying. Concepts such as economic order quantity, economic purchase quantity, fixed period, fixed quantity system, will serve as a broad guidelines. So these are the guidelines we have to take according to our organization and our requirement. These are the things we have to take into mind, whatever the things which we are having, and according to that we have to decide the quantity. But the buyer has to use his knowledge, experience, and common sense to determine the quantity after the considering the factors like price structure, discount, availability of the item, favorable reciprocal relationship, and we have to according to that we have to use these things, our experience and our common sense, and according to that we have to make this quantity. It will be totally depends on the experience of that particular things and forecasting that they are made and other things which is other factors which are affected. Okay, then we are moving towards the right attitude. Developing the right attitude is also necessary, and which are often come across the such things. Purchasing knows the price of the everything and value of nothing. What exactly this right attitude we can see here? I will repeat the things. Developing the right attitude too is necessary as one often comes across a such statement. Purchasing knows the price of everything, value of nothing. So this is the things we have to think on that point of view. So our attitude must be right so that we buy price, not cost. Hmm? When will our order placer becomes a purchase manager? So this law, all these things are there. Purchase acts like a post box. So these are the things which we are having. Attitude must be a good, and these things should not happen. So that there, therefore, the purchasing should keep the progress as it key activity and should be future oriented. The purchase manager should be innovative, and his long-term objective should be to minimize the cost of the ultimate product. So there are many factors are there which are affected on the attitude. So we have to think on that point, and attitude must be there. Right contract, it is regarding the legal terms and conditions. According to that, we have to make sure that whatever the procedures which we are having for the contracts, all the terms and conditions and all these things are properly mentioned so that we cannot have the any legal things afterwards during the purchasing. We have to also take care for the whenever we are purchasing from the international, their term and conditions and all these things, rules, regulations, we have to take into the mind. Then we are moving towards the right material. Right type of materials required for production is an important parameter in the purchasing. Techniques such as value analysis will be able the buyers to locate the right material. So these value analysis methods we have to apply, and then we have to see that the right materials we are using. Then next is what right transportation. Right mode of transportations have to be identified as there forms a critical segment in the cost profile of an item. So it will transportations also included in the cost of the materials. We have to see that properly. We have to doing all these things. Okay, right place of delivery. So delivery place is also important. Where exactly we have to take the delivery, so that afterwards, after we are purchased or we are getting this material, there will be minimum cost will be required to the move this to the up to the finished product. So the specifying the right place of delivery, like a head office or works, would often minimize the handling and transportation cost. So this is the main aim of this particular. So these are the different parameters of this purchasing. 5 hours, uh, 5 hours we are discussed. Now we will discuss the next part in the next lecture. Today we will stop here. Thank you. Thank you very much.